Hello everybody, welcome back to the Jade Empire walkthrough. We're cruising around in the Lotus Assassin Fortress. The last video we just talked a bunch to the, I think it's the Keeper of the Records? Does that sound right? I think that's her name. And I'm gonna try to do here. Oh, Keeper of the Archive. Wow.
I would give anything to be able to serve.
Yeah, as far as, I'm not sure what styles now I've got leveled up. It looked like a couple of them were fairly leveled, but I don't know if I had any points left over. And it looks like that cabinet is completely empty. Kind of weird.
Uksayer kun ni kak no aku kwawir fuisir aku fagita.
I think that's it for this side of the bridge. Yeah, it's the same room I just came out of. I'm not sure where I'm going here. I don't think, yeah, I don't think this is where we need to be going here. Oh, I know what I was doing. I thought that maybe this door over here opened up and went somewhere else, but it doesn't. That door doesn't lead anywhere. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing anything. But yeah, unfortunately that doesn't lead anywhere. So I think we need to take care of the ghosts first before really doing anything else. That's the golem press room. We don't need to be there. A bunch of attendants of
another
Shin,
of Gong's weakling acolytes headed to the slaughter.
Gong's
How many of the
superior.
ghosts killed so far?
11, 12, does it matter? Worthless as one, worthless as a group.
Go on then. Let's see how you fare. We'll need to sluice the blood out of there by the time they manage to destroy those ghosts.
Typical Lotus Assassin acolytes and low ranking members just talking smack the entire time. It's literally all they do. So here is the room with, there's a bunch of ghosts in here. There should be a treasure or two.
You can't keep up! Reaping time. Paralyzing blow.
Later on you get XP in here for killing golems.
Paralyzing.
I don't know if that means that, you know, I don't know if you can destroy the golems right now. Because if that was the case, then potentially you're losing out on EXP. You know, if you smash a bunch of them before they kind of animate, I guess. But I'm not sure. I guess I'm not sure what I actually destroyed there. It was either a golem or it was a, you know, a fire pot or whatever. There's a billion of them in the game. That kind of looks like a golem though. So yeah, hopefully I didn't kind of screw myself out of some EXP there, which I very well may have done.
You live. And the ghosts are gone? Well, I did not expect this. It would seem that I have a competent acolyte for once. Interesting. Recruits are rarely of use before we strip them of their outside identities, but you beg a more interesting application. Could you be the one I have waited for? Your duties would normally include a period of deprivation in a cell until every hint of self and identity was stripped away. It is a draining, brutal awakening. I need a favored protege, someone willing to risk everything in my service. I will preserve your intellect, allow your inventive mind to remain, in exchange for 2 tasks. One is your duty anyway. The other is something to secure your future at the heart of the Assassins. Lotus acolytes are utterly expendable. You deserve better. You must operate the soul extractor, past the room where you fought the ghosts. In the coming weeks, you will help swell the ranks of the Empire's glorious golem army. Golems are fueled by the souls of the dead. The recently dead, it turns out, make far more obedient and powerful golems, especially if brutally killed. We no longer mine the necropolis for souls that linger near their resting place. We butcher slaves instead, and extract their souls into spirit shards. Tonight we require a shard of exceptional quality for a Jade Golem that will control the latest battalion of golems. You will oversee this in the extraction chamber. You clearly deserve better than the short life of the regular Acolyte. Your ability surprised me. Use it to surprise the others as well. Help me gain the power to help you. Kill Master Shin, my superior. You are perceptive. It is a tricky matter and therefore a good test for an otherwise expendable Acolyte. Your kind die often in the machinations between masters.
You're just fodder to him. Make sure we stay useful or he'll find another favorite.
The politics of the Lotus Assassin Order are complicated. It's all right if murder is suspected, so long as it appears deserved because of incompetence. That is your task to figure out, Acolyte. This is a dangerous place. Find a way for him to have an accident that disgraces him. I, of course, must not be implicated. Talk to my acolytes at their stations, in the Golem Press Room and the Soul Extractor. These are dangerous machines. Find a sharp corner Shin can crack his temple on. Return to me when you have an idea for an appropriate accident. I don't care what it is, as long as there is a corpse for me to gloat over in the end. Proceed. I will hear you. Shards infuse the golems with life. Souls are extracted from the vessel that holds them, whether a corpse or a slave, and sealed within a crystal shard. The more recent and brutal the death, the more effective the golem. Our soul extraction process is deliberately painful. Essence gems are trinkets that can focus minimal amounts of chi. There are very few people who can make use of them effectively. Golems are utterly obedient, but that does not mean that they are always easy to control. In great numbers, there can be discord. Jade golems are infused with spirit shards made of multiple souls. They are highly ordered servants, and they serve as pacifiers for the other golems. One or two golems can be controlled by will alone, but an army requires these Jade intermediaries to maintain order. Such numbers are dangerous without a lieutenant. I do not know. Hundreds? More? Many are here, waiting for a Jade Golem to command them. In the end, we will replace the weaklings of the Imperial Army entirely. Imagine it, Acolyte. An army of loyal, nearly indestructible golems, dedicated to enforcing the will of the Emperor under Death's hand. A beautiful sight. You already know enough about him. He is insufferable, concerned only about his own advancement. He sabotages my efforts at every turn. When he is gone, I will ascend in rank, and I will reward acolytes that are loyal to me. Perhaps I will even introduce you to Grand Inquisitor Gia in the heart of the fortress. Stop right there, Acolyte. I am well aware of what that Lotus expositioner records. Rumors and lies routinely turned over to Grand Inquisitor Gia. If you wish to remain more than a footnote in her pages, you will not speak to me again about her. Remember your tasks, Acolyte. Create a spirit shard in the extraction chamber for the Jade Golem, and find a creative way to kill and disgrace Master Shin. You can also seek training from Acolyte trainer Gong. I'm sure you are her superior, but she might have something of use to you.
Okay, so tons of dialogue there. Obviously, Gong making a huge mistake by trusting us enough to not have our identity stripped away. That very well could have meant the end of the game, I assume.
Gongs, So am I. Let's identify what training you need by sparring for a short time. Let's keep it non-lethal for now. You'll find you have enough enemies in this place. We acolytes are utterly expendable. Good. Remember, no killing blows. I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to practice those later.
Paralyzing palm.
So Gong has basically, you know, revealed that he has been waiting for one special acolyte, essentially, to help raise himself up in the ranks, as well as potentially helping us, or having helping person rise in the ranks as well. And here is Acolyte Trainer Gong, and she's kind of a pushover. Of course, I kind of cheesed her, so.
Well, you would appear to have more than a passing knowledge of combat. I could almost see some kind of flaw, but I was clearly outclassed.
Yes, you were. I knew this acolyte was something special, but I didn't think my trainer would be made to look like a fool. You, New Blood, you will be the trainer now. When I am promoted, you will train all my acolytes. You, assist him if you can even do that.
It would seem that you have taken over my duties. I will still serve as an advisor, as Master Gong ordered. There are techniques I can share. In truth, I did not like being a trainer. Life for any of Master Gong's acolytes is rough and short, but especially so for trainers. Master Shin sees to that. My duties, your duties now, include training Master Shin's personal entourage. In the past, if a trainer was too good, Shin had that trainer killed to keep Gong weak. I think one member of his entourage is a full Lotus assassin. I have survived by appearing unimportant and staying out of the fight between Gong and Shin. You are supposed to train the attendants in his entourage. Some need it, but if you seem too skilled, your next fight will be against the hidden Lotus assassin. Besides, it wouldn't weaken Shin for long. I suppose he would be alone and more vulnerable if he had to fight right away, but he will replace them in time. Accidents happen, and even the attendants in his entourage are just acolytes, and therefore are utterly expendable. There would not be much fuss. However, you would probably find yourself training the hidden Lotus assassin in the next bout. Any skilled acolytes under Gong are quickly disposed of. Are you mad? Well, it doesn't matter. You must train one at a time. If you seem to be too strong a target, I'm sure they will accommodate your death wish. I have learned a number of techniques.
And here we've got, obviously, quite a few techniques. I believe I buy them all. I'm not 100% sure, really, that Fearsome Visage is the greatest to buy in an open palm playthrough. But I really just bought everything for the sake of buying everything. But anyways, so the whole idea here is to essentially either make Sheng look bad or, you know, kill him in some way. That's at least Gong's goal. And thus, with that, he would be promoted, and it sounds like anyone under him would be then promoted as well. Here, the Gong here, the trainer, is actually kind of smart. She kind of knows how the whole area works and is like content at staying like the trainer. You know, basically just smart enough to know where the least dangerous position is at. So, very cool character.
I showed my ability in the arena, and when I asked, their recruiter agreed. I have only one skill, and this was the best place to exploit it. Combat, killing. The army was too strict, the arena too tame. Here, when they want an enemy destroyed, that enemy is destroyed. Sometimes family and all. We are all here for one reason, and that includes you. We are killers, plain and simple. There are no Lotus assassins with hearts of gold. You're in a hurry to make enemies, aren't you? Very well. Master Shin has a new attendant in his entourage who's supposed to be trained. Attendant Keaton. She is replacing one of the acolytes who did not return from Tian's Landing. There was no explanation. I assume he was weak and was discarded. You can find her and all of the other attendants by the doors to the inner chambers. They wait there for when Shin leaves to inspect new slave shipments. Goodbye. If you wish to begin your likely short career as trainer, Attendant Keaton waits with her fellows at the doors to the inner chambers. I'll say this. If you are going to try and fight them, hold nothing back. They will be trying to kill you.
Okay, so the first order of business in weakening Sheng is to basically kill off his attendants in training mishaps. So, very cool way to
You think you have something to
go
show
about
us?
this.
Master Shin has us test each of Gong's trainers to make sure they're skilled.
But not too skilled. Am I your next student? I assure you, I am more than capable of defending myself. I was made an attendant because of my skills.
You would think to persuade us to abandon Master Shin and join Gong's pathetic faction. Then you know nothing about how true acolytes are indoctrinated.
Our lives belong to Master Shin. Through his guidance, we will one day ascend to serve Grand Inquisitor Jia and Death's Hand.
Our loyalty is absolute. We are nothing without our duty to Master Shin. Perhaps Gong is more lenient and left your mind untouched, but that is why he is weak.
Is that so? I would be more concerned about yourself if I were you. Let's move this fight to the Hall of Induction so I have room to enjoy this.
Alright, so first one, I didn't catch this trainee's name here, but we're gonna take him down. None of these guys are really important.
Paralyzing palm.
Catan.
Reaping tiger.
Oh man, yeah, let's slaughter these guys. Alright, so there's one down. Turned to stone and busted up. Oh, I forgot, it sticks you at the top of the chambers though, which is pretty lame. So you have to run back down and speak to the next attendant or whatever again. Not really sure why they did that, but whatever.
You killed Keaton. The life of an acolyte is forfeit when they walk into this place, yes. But for one of Gong's ragged minions to do this is unforgivable.
Do you think you can make such an insult and disguise it as a simple training mishap? You are a fool.
If you are ready, trainer, your next student is waiting. It is my task to make examples of Gong's acolytes who show too much promise. My skills are above question. Gong is about to lose another of his pitiful acolytes. Come, let's move to the hall, and I will end this.
Next. So obviously, these guys, even the minions of Sheng, or the acolytes under him, however you want to say it.
Double axes.
Even they are very prejudiced towards Gong's acolytes. Basically saying that, you know, you kill them and you realize that every trainee's life is forfeit here, but the fact that you're one of Gong's acolytes makes it even worse. So it's like, just totally talking smack.
You killed Kai Feng? But he was fully trained.
Such insolence will not go unpunished. We'll make an example of you soon enough. Your corpse will be dragged before your master.
But Kai Feng was a full assassin. How could he have fallen?
Shut up. This fool will pay. You'll see. You'll regret this.
All right. Ooh, okay. Well, I thought that was going to be another fight right there, but I guess we have to run down again, and then what? Get into the final fight with these guys. And I think the next one is two guys at the same time, which, you know, whatever. Nothing that we haven't faced already. Look how Master Gong gets out of the way. Oh yeah, looks like maybe, are we gonna fight
Lotus
these guys right
Acolyte
here?
of Gong.
Yeah.
We must make an example of you. You have
Let's
insulted
get it
the
on, brother.
attendants of Master Shin's entourage.
The Masters do not care whether acolytes live or die, so it is up to us to avenge the deaths of our fellows.
We will not appear weak. We are the attendants of Master Shin. You will die as penance for your insult. Your death will be an example to all of Gong's fools.
Paralyzing palm.
Actually, this looks like it's more of a battle royale. Yeah, there's 4 guys here.
Paralyzing palm.
5, 6, 5. Yeah, 5. 5, and then let's have a trainer there. I thought that was another enemy. He's gonna fight us. But either way, not a big deal. The only annoying part is he's getting poisoned here by accident. Boom, there we go. I didn't really need to splatter all these guys, but I did just because, I don't know, it's more gratifying. Besides, these guys are Lotus assassins, they gotta die, right?
Leaping tiger.
The paralyzing palm is so OP. Look at that.
That was an impressive display, Acolyte. I've never seen Shin's attendants so handily dismissed. Master Shin's enemies are probably very impressed with your actions. I can only speculate, of course.
Smarmy idiot. He wants our help as long as there's no risk to himself.
So even Downstar recognizes that he's kind of a piece of crap. The funny thing is, though, Gong doesn't really...
show no fear of the enemies you make.
He's not all that smart.
You will do well here. You have no more acolytes to train for now.
And the reason why I say that is because, you know, typically, yeah, okay, you know, it's nice. It would be nice to have a capable acolyte, but it's kind of one of those things where you'd want him to be strong but not too strong, and that is exactly what obviously the main character is.
I would have died too. That is the way of things here. Take care of yourself first. Risks bear penalties as well as rewards.
Take care of yourself.
Goodbye,
first.
Acolyte.
I like it. Looks like I'm completely capped out on the open palm chart there too. All right, so what's the plan? We have to make a soul shard from the extractor. I think that's the next order of business. Here we've got our old friend.
You approach the soul extractor. The assassins want you to create a spirit shard, to crush a life to power a golem puppet. They are very efficient in their brutality now. It wasn't always like this. Fear used to be the primary tactic. Destroy the family of one to ensure the loyalty of all. It caused chaos, uprisings, close allies turning on each other. Those inclined to betrayal fear it the most. Imagine if you could corrupt the machine and return the chaos of disloyalty the Emperor dreads. No matter your motives, helping the assassins harms you. If you corrupt the spirit shard, you can move forward while also crippling their golems. They seek control. There used to be a chance to disobey when the order given was too harsh. The victims pointlessly innocent. Now there is only obedience. There is something chaotic enough to disrupt that. In the elevator room to come, descend to the deepest mine, to the oldest graves. Just go. The thieves await you. Remember, the deepest mines. They are closed now for being too troublesome. That is where you will find what you need.
Alrighty, so Sagacious Sue says to go to the bottom level to get our shard.
You must be Master Gong's latest acolyte. I heard there might be a new recruit, but they typically aren't ready for service so quickly. Stripping a will can take time. But Master Gong is known for being generous to those who please him. You must be quite exceptional to be allowed into service so directly. This device is the soul extractor. It has a loftier name, but we are here to glorify Emperor Sun through Death's hand, not pay tribute to some distant celestial lord. It is mounted on an elevator that reaches deep into the necropolis. Until recently, we excavated bodies to extract spirits that lingered near their graves. The results were unpredictable. Now we use slaves. Freshly killed spirits make the best golems. The more painful the death, the better. The extractor is not gentle.
Horrible. If the Emperor really is behind this, he's a monster.
The soul extractor certainly kills whatever is placed within it, but little is left of the victim, so you cannot prove they did not belong there. Only a spirit shard remains. The golem press is far more dangerous, but I have nothing to do with that ungainly device. I prefer the elegance of ripping slaves apart. Then you should select a suitable victim for the procedure. I would recommend one of the slaves on the prison level. Selecting from elsewhere could bring unfortunate results, and I would not wish to see you disgraced so early in your time with us. Use the lever to select a floor, and this platform will move there. You are free to go where you wish, but I would avoid the lower mines. They are restless. The older tombs have spirits that have festered in their hatred for ages. They are not easily controlled. That is why we use slaves to power the golems now. As well, the mines are simply not stable. Tombs can collapse, so we take care not to move too many golems at once, to avoid shaking the foundations of the fortress. Your place in the ranks of the assassins is clear. What do you want to know? Death's hand owns my soul, as he does yours and everyone else who has given themselves to him. In obedience and submission, we find our purpose. He is the living will of the Emperor. Through him, we are closer to the heart of the Empire. Grand Inquisitor Gia is the embodiment of the will of Death's hand, even as he is the will of the Emperor. She governs us all while he is elsewhere. To defy her is to defy the Empire. Death is her first and last means of education on the matter. It is our home, but not for much longer. With the golem forces of the Emperor almost complete, there is little to tie us here. When the army marches, so shall we. I do not imagine we will leave much behind us. The ground here is weak. Such a movement of power will likely shake the walls to their foundation. Then you should... If you must. It is a simple machine to operate. I'm sure you will come to enjoy the subtle joys of it. Spirits that die in trauma can linger near their mortal form. The Empire is soaked in blood. Many restless dead haunt the necropolis. But slaves produce a better result. Only on the prison level. Many of the mines are impassable. The graves were never intended to be stable during excavation. Several have collapsed. Much of the surrounding ground is weak. We do not march too many golems at once. Even that might shake something loose. Slaves are placed in the extractor, and the extraction fluid produces exquisite agony. Focused by this pain, the soul is forced to crystallize into a spirit shard. That shard is implanted in a golem, infusing it with the energy of the deceased soul. Your task is the creation of a new shard for a Jade Golem. Do not delay. Death's hand placed the machine here. It is said the Emperor himself brought pieces of some great celestial furnace back from the heavens. I do not fully understand how it functions, but I am not meant to. I obey, and that is enough.
Alright, so that NPC basically just tells you all about how the golem or the soul extractor works. Obviously a pretty twisted individual. And he or she, I think it was a she. She'll get hers pretty soon here. She's not gonna live much longer. So there's a couple of different levels. This is the prisoner level, it looks like.
Who are you? Some new acolyte? I've seen a lot of your kind. I watch over the slaves you deliver to the extractor. The inevitability of their deaths is amusing. Haven't even earned your markings yet, I see. Master Gong must be getting weak to allow you such freedom already. They come from across the Empire. Some are brought from the south, some from the poor quarters of the city. Others are those who have merely spoken ill of us.
A cruel collection. They do not deserve this.
Their lives before don't matter. Only their deaths concern us. Death's Hand is our lord and master. He holds our souls in bondage and grants us power through it. We obey him unquestioningly. He is the will of the Emperor. Inquisitor Gia is second only to Death's Hand himself. She is in charge of our work here, and she oversees our operations in the Imperial City. You will meet her in time, and when you do, pray you do not anger her. Do it.
Master Lotus Assassin, have pity on us.
This is no assassin, fool. A Lotus Acolyte has no authority to do anything for you. One of the masters could select you as servants, but they have subtle tastes.
Forgive me. I saw a new face and hoped there was kindness there. I was mistaken. I am a criminal, I suppose. For lightening a few purses, I was sentenced to work on the wall, but I was delivered here instead. Some of the others were captured by pirates and sold. One merely asked why the Imperial Army reports to the Lotus Assassins now. We did nothing to deserve this harsh fate. You must be able to see that. Hundreds, thousands, I don't know. All that were here when I arrived are gone. There are scratches on the walls, names of wives, of daughters. What did so many do to deserve such a horrible death? We can hear them scream, one by one. You would do that?
Never doubt when someone gives their word.
You are a long way from the authority you need to make such promises. Don't get attached to them. There will always be more.
Yes. Farewell.
What do you want now? You tread dangerous ground, Acolyte. Unless you plan to speed their processing in the extractor, you risk being punished for your impudence.
You will not keep them this way.
You demand it? You are clearly not here as an Acolyte. If you want to die for these scrawny dogs, so be it.
Alright, so being that we're going with the open palm, I'll walk through the detail to take this guy down and let set the prisoners free. Which I think by doing so, that forces the fight.
You have given us a chance. Please let us out.
The person in the elevator room.
For a little while.
I think, anyway.
There are sure to be other guards. Thank you for what you have done. But I'm not sure where to go now.
The mine. The smaller one. Remember? Before they stopped digging out the graves, there was light from the surface coming in.
Alright, so we're letting the slaves free here, and actually I'm going to cut it here. We'll pick it up right where we left off in the next video. So like, comment, subscribe, whatever you guys want to do. Hope the guides are helpful though. Hope you're liking them, and hope you join me for more. Alright.
I don't think we would have a chance without you.